You see why he's in the side.
Oh.
And well, that's asking for trouble, and this one's going to bounce off the giant ball. Well, Corey's having flashbacks, and that one is out of the ground. As this brings up the 50 partnership for Brigade. It's been dominated by MacArthur.
Well, I said this morning Shakat should never come around the wicket because he just bowls it into the wheelhouse and you just have to help it on its way. And that's exactly what's happened there. There's the giant ball. Well, I caught that one last week, that is for sure. But yeah, good batting. Doesn't matter if you're injured or not. And well, looks like he might be coming. Here we go. He's changing to spin. Well, right. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, why not? It'll be all time. It's a fast spinner. This has worked around the corner. And, well, finally, nice bit of fielding. And now MacArthur. I'm not often you see someone score a half century with a target of 68, but he's getting close. He's up to 43. As we have one more ball left in this over, and Alford, who's played a bit of second violin during the first 4 overs. He's on strike. They'll get one here. And that will take us to the end of the 4th over. They're not long to go in this one. 52 for no loss after 4. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, along with Koya Ruckers. Now, I have been given this, and I can't wait to read a bit more of it. I was just peeking through it. This is called Big Roy, and it's all about Roy Torrance, who's been really a big loss for everyone around the Brigade club. I know that he passed away late last year, and this is all about his life, and it's written by people that knew him, by his friends. It's 120 pages long, so I can't wait to have a look at this. Uphill and into the wind, Big Roy, his life in cricket, including a contribution by our very own Sir Rob Kemming. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Pretty touching, that.
Yeah, had a lot to many people. Alford tries to get funky, and he'll get a dot here.
Yep, good decision by the umpire to not give that a wide because the batsman moved across. But yeah, that's nice, Vinny.
Beautiful pictures in here as well. That's Big Roy, his life in cricket. And on Morgan and Kevin O'Brien, these kind of names all there. Nell O'Brien as well. Shukla into the attack. It's an easy read because just 1 or 2 pages, you're getting a lot of different perspectives and some beautiful colour pictures in there as well. So, again, our condolences to Torrance family and the Brigade community. I'm sure we'd be very, very proud of how Brigade are going about this tournament. And this one is dragged. Should just be 1.
So you know how we have like the statistic charts come up and different things, the worm and handgraph. Should we be accounting drop catches and missed opportunities should have a chart? Because the team, I think it's usually the team that has the least amount in a tournament goes on and wins the tournament.
That's probably a fairly good point. I suppose it's a bit subjective.
It's better than the worm.
I think it's a bit subjective though. I mean, you're dealing with known data versus subjective data. What is a chance? What is not a chance?
I'm doing my pluses and minuses next week.
You should do it.
Next week.
You're asking other people to do extra work. I'd like to see you get the Andy Simons pen and paper out.
I'm overworked.
Pluses, minuses. You're not today, because this is going to finish early.
Oh, yes.
Bit of seam back from Shukla. He's had a pretty good game, Shukla, actually. Remember, he counter-attacked with the bat. Nice late innings hitting. Got him up into the 60s, otherwise this game would be over already.
Good to see Mark Davies there, keeping. 66 years young. Yeah. Doing a splendid job.
I don't think he's quite 66 yet. I think he's 65 still.
Rounded up.
66 this year. Alford, they've put him up there to get some batting. Hasn't really clicked for him as yet. Not as easy as it looks on TV. You can tell that to everybody. As I have a look at a few people in the Czech Republic agreeing with you there. Nice to see some drop catch statistics, missed opportunity statistics. Halfway through this innings, it's 54 for 5.
What I'll do next week, I'll keep track of the whole fielding operation by the 6 teams that are coming, and we'll have a look at who's the best fielding team, and if the best fielding team next week goes on to get it. But here's a look at the scorecard, and well, one-man show.
It is at the moment. I need 14 for victory. Only 6 required by MacArthur. You asked what is he doing out there? Well, you can see what he's doing out there. On strike now. No ball called,
no
and they'll probably catch this now.
Oh no.
And it's a big wipeout from Lazaridis.
Oh, you got to have a giggle sometime, don't you? It's just not going their way. It was a no ball anyway. He didn't know it was a no ball.
I think they get 2 there, did they? I mean, that's not ideal, is it? So, things just not really working at the moment. First ball.
Yep.
Good call from the umpire. And now free hit, and it's
catch
the
it.
Alligator.
Hey!
Oh, he pulled that off. Oh, well, that's Lee Rimmer.
He's in my...
That is Lee Rimmer.
That's another tick in my coach's book. He qualifies in 2 years.
And well, all the kids parted like the Orange Sea there and left it to Mr. Rimmer. Takes an outstanding catch, but let's focus back on the batter because that brings up McCarter's 50 off 17 balls. Gets nutmegged by the next one. But McCarter, you mentioned about whether it was smart to risk him in this game. He could have had a whole day off. But he brings up his half century in quick time as well.
Yep, credit to him. He's batted really beautifully. He's timed the ball sensationally. They always say beware of the injured batsman.
Yeah, that's what they say. This one's into the hitting zone as well. And it's adios pelota. That one's on the roof of the tents as we're getting closer and closer to the final bell here in match 13. And McCarter hitting him for fun now. That one was really long.
And, well, Vinny, if my maths are correct, that might be it.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have to just do the recount. Happened very, very quickly.
Well, the players seem to be... No, they're not. They've got to get one more opportunity. My maths are correct, Vinny. They're all walking together then as if the game was done.
Tommy Esperin says, look and learn, Corey, about that crowd catch from Lee Rimmer.
It's actually CGI. That's me out there. CGI right? These days is phenomenal.
Someone give me a score.
Oh, it's pretty easy when you're in sports clothing. I've been trying to take catches in chino pants and polo shirts. And
getting there wasn't the problem.
I'm going to take a couple in the ECS this year. Maybe not these.
You're not allowed.
Nah, ECS I am allowed in Portugal.
No, you're not. Not if you're plugged in.
There's a bit of a pause on the game here because I think it's over. Is it over?
It is. I think you might be right, actually.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you just bowl another ball anyway? Why not?
No, because something will happen. Someone will get injured. You'll get sued, and that'll be the end of the ECN.
Maybe you'll get uninjured.
Well, people that think it might have ended, and they said, no, we'll have another one. So everything's gone down. The internet's gone down.
Oh no.
Everything's cracking.
Well, Zagreb getting on the offensive. Everyone comes into the ring. It's a bit late.
The 9 slips might have been a shout. Of course, well, if we have one more, might as well have another one. So, yeah, I think we might have broken the scoreboard because I think they might need a negative number now.
Well, -2 to win.
Oh, there we go. Now, if you want some more, here's some more. I'm not sure whether this will count or not, because if they pass the total, it'll be void. And in the end, I think, at no ball.
No ball for.
Let me get a free hit first ball next game. Because, it was too high. McCarter says, thank you very much. That's going to do it. And in the end, it's going to be a comfortable victory for Brigade, who finished their campaign 4-1. They did have that stumble on the opening morning. And this is going to set up a really interesting Super Thursday for them, and we could see a return matchup with Griffins that did a number on them back in match 1 of Group B. But it was McCarter that dominated that chase. And I would have thought maybe it was a good opportunity to get some more batting into some others. I mean, I think maybe that's why they kept McCarter up there. They gave Alford a chance up the top, but he wasn't able to really get going. Mark Davies, and that's him right there, the oldest player to appear in the ECL. He'll be disappointed. He had the best seat in the house to some power hitting from Graham McCarter in the second half of match 13. This unbroken partnership wins the game for Brigade as they get over the line by 10 wickets. Zagreb Sokol, they needed a miracle in match 13. I didn't know if we were going to see lightning striking twice after a quite unexpected result in the corresponding fixture last week. But the kids, well, they were pretty enthused. And there's Sam Houghton. He was about to be laughing on the other side of his face when you see what happens early on. And, well, the Teddy Bears were scrambling. And RT, of course, always in the thoughts of the Brigade crew. But then this was the story for me. Newton drops an absolute sit-up. Probably their 2 best fielders who got opportunities. They weren't able to take hold. This is the other one, Houghton. Well, runs away to end up on his knees, and he was praying he'd get another chance. He did it. And well, the chances were always going to be few and far between as Brigade cruised to victory.
Yeah, it just wasn't falling into the hands for Zagreb Sokol, but credit to the Griffins, Brigade I should say, getting ahead of myself. Brigade have played a pretty flawless T10 game. They bowled well, they fielded well, and we saw some brilliant power hitting there at the very end. A couple more boundaries and they've cruised themselves to victory, but more importantly that means they are going to finish in the top 3 and they're going to have a couple of chances to get to finals Friday.
Yeah, they'll have to wait and see exactly where they finish. That'll determine when they play tomorrow. Lee Rimmer, well, he showed them how to catch, didn't he? Out there, 20 metres over the boundary. It was last right's time. And it was Brigade that cruised to their 4th victory on the trot after that little wobble, and a lot of enthusiasm. Could see the fan zone filling up. Beautiful day for it as well as we look ahead to the next match, and it's going to be Griffins versus the Royal Tigers. Both these teams identical records, so Royal Tigers would love to get a 4th victory, which would entrench them in the top 3. Same with Griffins, but they probably could lose and still get there, but it depends on things like net run rate then, potentially. So I think there's a lot to play for.
welcome to the coin toss for match 14. Griffins, they're taking on the Royal Tigers. This promises to be an exciting game. What about Griffins? Look, they had a defeat yesterday. They were beaten by the Norwegian champions. They had to come back strong today, and they did. They had a good win against Indo-Bulgarians in a very close game. Match number 2000 it was. But they won, and they've got the confidence, I think, going into this match. The Royal Tigers, look, they had a comfortable victory, didn't they, against the Croatian champions. They too will be looking comfortable. This is going to be, I think, again, a battle between the big guns of the Royal Tigers against the more traditional players of Griffins. Let's join Harsh and Luke and Rob for the all-important coin toss.
Griffins are going to bowl.
Captain Harsh of the Royal Tigers, the champions of Hungarian cricket. Well, he calls back to ball, but it falls. Guinea-Ibu. And no hesitation from the captains of Griffins, Luke Letizia. He says, okay, we're going to have a ball. And I think this is all about them being able to time their run chase once more. Well, captain will be pleased and relieved, really, that someone like Jason Martin and Jordan Martell were able to perform with the bat. And remember, they put that 81-run partnership on together against that victory in a very close game against Indo-Bulgarian. With the ball, though, I think he's hoping that he himself is able to keep the pace off and pick up a few wickets, and maybe Bishard can return to his best form. They're up against a team that are known for their power hitting, and this could be another one that perhaps something like, first of all, I think Harsh, the captain, I think he could have a big part to play in this match with the bat and with ball, but they've got those big hitters, haven't they? They've got the likes of Zishan, Zahir and Abhishek. If they get going, well, we know that they can put a big score on the board. And once they do that, well, with the bowling, Katapal will be key again. He's always there. He's always performing for his captain. And I think Harsh himself, putting a bit of spin on it, taking the pace off, he'll be hoping to pick up a few wickets himself. I think this is really going to be a good one. Just a reminder, toss won by Griffins, and the captain, Luke Letizia, deciding he is going to have a bowl first. Good match is going to be. It's going to be exciting. Maybe feel about a golden ball about this one. Who knows? Well, I know one man that's looking forward to this match is in the commentary box, and it's Mr. Maximo.
Thank you very much, Rico Full. Welcome back. And it is time for match number 2002 on ECN. It's been a great journey, a bit of a milestone today as we reached our 2000th match all-time that we broadcast on the European Cricket Network. It's great to have your company once again as the action's really hotting up in Group B as the round-robin stage comes to a conclusion today on day 3 of Group B. And this should be a really, really interesting match between the Royal Tigers from Budapest in Hungary taking on Griffins from Guernsey. You can see the news from the toss, you saw it right there. As Griffins won the toss, elected to bowl first. Surprised me a little bit. I think that they know perhaps that Royal Tigers like to chase, and so they're going to get them out there, maybe try and expose them early. Zishan has been good, as has the protractor. And how about that? The supercomputer, the robot, thinks it's narrowly Griffins 100 to 94. Must say, it's hard to see the Royal Tigers not cracking 100 if Zishan gets going. You see both those teams well on the timeline. They just had the one loss so far. Could be at risk. It actually come down to net run rate, so the margins might be important as well. This is a game I'm really looking forward to. Contrasting styles between the two teams, slightly. Contrasting experience levels at ECN level. But anyway, here's Bishard to start things off in match 14. And he's not going to stick around. He's going to put this one on the bank. Maximo! 1 ball, 1-6. Tigers out of the cage early. And it is Zishan Khan Kukakal. I don't even think he gets all this one. Just angled it from Bishard. Zishan says, thanks very much. Seis carreras. And there's no warm-up deliveries in T10. It was fielded by his Tigers teammates. This one just helped round the corner. It's going to be 4 more. And so Bishard just trying to drop the length a little bit, but He's getting that in movement. And Zishan was quick to get across and help it round the corner to 4 more. They hit double digits in no time at all. It's going old school. Showing the whole face. Nothing to hide. Zishan Kukakel. 10 off 2. He's out there with Marka Huja. Marka Huja has and play some attacking strokes as well. Nishan sits back and cracks this one, no run. Marka Huja, I'd probably compare him a little bit to Chris Lakov that we've seen as far as what his role is. I think he's aiming to give as much of the strike to the out-and-out hitter at the other end. The run between the wickets hard, but can also play some classical strokes to the boundary. Zishan once more, he misses out, come back from Bishard. So much of this game I think might be determined in the power play. If you can grab Zishan, remove him, put some pressure on some of the other batters, and they do bat pretty deep. That's one thing I probably would say. Both these two teams have got pretty strong top 5. This time finds man square leg. A deep mid wicket and a deep third man. I don't mind that actually at this stage, because I think with this wind, the way Zishan swings, could easily come off the edge and go all the way to third man. We've seen a few catches down there already, some taken, some not. Live chat back up now after let's ball the over. He misses. It's 10 for no loss. The 4 dot balls. Good comeback from Bishard as that over looked to be heading out of hand. Mr. Maximo here, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network today, as we are at the midpoint of week 2 of a 6-week tournament here in Kartama. Joining me once again, welcome back to Rico Full.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Lovely to be here, of course. I'm looking forward to what we both believe is going to be quite an exciting contest. Should be close. Zishan, we saw him get hold of 2 deliveries there, but Bishard came back well. But I think he also was a little bit fortunate. A couple of loose deliveries there, which I think Zishan, if he wasn't thinking about hitting the ball so hard, should have really made contact with a couple of those, but gets away with it. And we can see Mark Ahuja facing his ball, and no change here in their approach to the opening attack. They were sticking with Hooper, who up until now has been expensive.
Yep. Here is the hoop. Mark Ahuja. Stan Ahuja also in the side. He'll be behind the stumps today for Royal Tigers. Mark Ahuja pushes for a single. That's his role, I think. He's surprised me a little bit, ECC. Someone said he may not be able to hit the big shots, and can do it, but I think Zishan is the plan A for that. This skews away, and it goes in that area I talked about a moment ago. This one goes over the third man that was in the circle. There was Bishard in that position. He swings so hard, Zishan, that he's always a chance of maybe skewing the deep third man. He does, but there's nobody home, and it's 4 to the Royal Tigers.
Well, there's always a chance in pulling his shoulder out as well. He really does swing. He gives it everything. He doesn't hold anything back. And that one goes over Bishard. On bound for 4 runs.
Keeper up to the stumps now, and well, it's an attempted slide tackle from Wallen. Now the babysitter's gone rogue. He can't get it, and there's 4 more Raw Tigers bouncing away in the power play.
This is an interesting way to try and stop this one. You see this again, and it was, like I say, nothing textbook about this try and stop. It's the old sliding tackle.
Yeah. Again, it's also risky. You're hoping the batter misses it, because if he gets bat on it, you've got the 2 fielders behind point, but it goes between them. You got 4. If it goes over them, you got 4 or 6.
Once more, going to get a good one in. Goes full, and look at those good hands again from the keeper, Jason Martin.
Yeah, he's been really good behind the stumps.
Good knock with the bat as well earlier. And well, more fortune. Tiene poquito de suerte en este partido, Zishan. Dos veces ahora, twice. Not where he intended this, gets the edge, and it's the unfortunate Hooper that has to go for 2 boundaries in the over.
That's why I said it's a bit of a risky tactic, because you better hope the batter misses it, because if they do get a bit of wood on it, it's likely to fly, especially with the wind. And so it's the end of another productive over for the Royal Tigers. 2 overs down at 23 for no loss. Well, now we're into the second last of the round robin matches, Rico. And of course, it's all about top 3, bottom 3. Heading into Super Thursday tomorrow. And I know that both these 2 teams will hope they're in the top half. Well, they are at the moment. Will they stay there? That's the thing. The team that loses will be at risk if Purifica can pull off a victory against Inner Bulgarian. It will come down to net run rate. So, yeah, a lot to play for still here on day 3.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how much Griffins watched the match that the Royal Tigers played against Brigade. It was very similar to this, though it was the Royal Tigers that were chasing. They made a brilliant start in the power play, and then Brigade managed to contain them outside the power play. I wonder if that's the plan here. Good work. He does throw himself around. That's Bichard. Yeah, I mean, going back to that, I mean, made such a great start, and he thought they were going to knock those runs off very quickly indeed. It was only 112, so 113 was required, and then they went off to a blistering start thanks to the likes of Zishan and Abhishek Katsapal. They were then contained because of good field placing and taking the pace of the ball. I'm sure that's what they were trying to do here. Swing and a miss, and Bichard does well. He holds his head. He seems to think that if this hits, he may have had his man. I'm not too sure. We'll see it again.
Feeling it's might be closer than you think. Huja just kind of wandering. I think look at the boot come in here. Oh, yeah, maybe we're doing all right, but we've seen lots of kicks attempted. We haven't seen any actually anywhere near the stumps though. That's the thing. So maybe stick to cricket.
Yeah, we are cricketers, probably. A lot of talk up there, a lot of noise. Bichard took the 10 in his first. Shot, 4 runs. Swing hard, hit hard, good contact made, and this flies through the covers. And with no protection there on the boundary, that's always going to be 4.
Yeah, it won't be a completely passive role for Marco Huja. So he just gives himself a little bit of room. He's a very talented batter, does like to bat at the top of the order in the longer forms. I actually think he's found a home at the top of the order in this level as well, especially when you pair him with an out-and-out excitement machine like Zishan Kukakel. First boundary for Mark Ahuja.
Oh. Is that this one? And then we keep hearing, every so often we hear this bit of noise, don't we? But I think that again, it's probably bat on surface, is it?
Yeah,
something?
Maybe that was just the gloves on the handle of the bat as well. I think he hits the ground there, but certainly was a little sound, but it's a long way away from actually being a genuine edge. Bichard, last ball of his spell, he's come back well.
Yeah, he has indeed, Vinny, and just a single there. So he's gone for 15, and this second over, so only going for 10. That's really good comeback.
In his last 10 balls, he only went for 5 because it was a 6 and a 4 off the first 2 balls that he bowled. Anyway, into the power play, 28 for no loss. And who have you got ahead at the moment, Rico, after 3 overs?
Well, I'm going to say that I think that this is so far going the way that Griffins, the champions from Guernsey, would have planned. The power play is over. They can now set the field. They've also got Bichard out the way, and Bichard is one that they probably could have gone big on. They don't. So yeah, I think this is. The only thing is,
that's it. And there's the big Z still out there, not facing though. He did face 11 out of the 18 balls in the power play. Scoring at 200. Marco Huja with 1 boundary. Third over, Dane Mullen.
She's just split the gap, and it's a good bit of fielding there. And they just settle for the single, and I think that's all to do with Zishan wanting the strike.
Yeah, I think so. That's GLT. I've heard of the BLT. That's the GLT territory there. Glenn Letitia, he has taken an amazing catch this morning.
Oh, would you believe it? When luck is on your side, well, this is the sort of day that you have. Zishan again, this is the third boundary that he's hit, and the ball's come off the edge. So 12 runs of that on his total.
I'm going to give him a bit of credit here, because I do think he tries to do this to an extent. I don't know if he wanted to get it quite in that area, but he does kind of open the face and try and manoeuvre the ball. I think he's quite aware of the field placing. But anyway, 4 more. He moves to 26.
Well, that's all he's going to stay on, because that's middle stump. Well, he's losing his bat as well. And that's a really good comeback. Well done for Mullen. Gets the man, gets the wicket. That's one of the big guns gone. Zishan goes for 26.
Well, all good things must come to an end. And Zishan Kukagel, who's out there, he was throwing the bat at everything as usual. This one, he just tries to play it on length. It was a bit fuller than he thought. Middle stump goes back, and you'll see here, he's disappointed. And unfortunately for him, the show ends at 26 for Kukagel. He becomes the first wicket to fall. Now, couldn't even handle the bat after that. Royal Tigers, 33 for 1.
Yeah, you can see he's bitterly disappointed there with himself. I think that was clever bowling, though. I think that was a bit quicker. It was a good line. To the type of batters that we know that we have in this format, that's a very good ball to bowl, because you know they're going to try and take it on. Look, he keeps calm, and then all of a sudden, he says, wow, well, that's why they're the Tigers.
I didn't realise it actually throws it down. Well, that could be...
It's a naughty.
Problem. It is a naughty.
There'll be a few words, maybe.
I think it might even be more.
You know what? I'll tell you something else. That's expensive. These phones are quite expensive. You don't go throwing your phones around, do you?
Yeah, you won't get any reception on that bat after that. Yeah, what do you think? Put yourself in the match referee's shoes.
He's going to have a word.
Deliberate throw.
Deliberate.
It didn't endanger anyone. It didn't endanger anyone. So maybe it's just a warning, but... Oh, this is a bit of a fortunate one for Marco Hooja, and he will get 4 here. In fact, that is Marco Hooja that is able to get this one to the boundary. So it doesn't matter how you get them. He's been joined by his captain, Harsh Mandian. So you've got the previous captain and the current captain out there together. The result, 4 more to the Tigers. And the runs keep on coming, despite the loss of Zishan.
24 in edges, though. So... have a look at that score. So really, 14, you could say, authentic. This one, he does well. I think this one, unlike the one that got Zishan, he held this one back slightly, and he was just able to get enough on there.
Well, the groundsman, David Cooper, wouldn't be too happy with the old bat into the turf either. Regardless, as we go to the end of the 4th over, the score is 39 for 1. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, along with Rico Fool. This is match number 2002, now on ECM. We celebrated our 2000 match all time today. Yeah. 2002, what were you doing back in 2002?
2000, I tell you what I was doing in 2002. I was introducing my baby Sonia to the world.
Oh, well, there you go. Of course, big shout out to your family. They're very understanding as well. So
they are, because I have to put up with you every day, and they say, how do you do it? How do I do it?
Yeah, sure. And your dogs as well?
Yeah.
As well?
They're very sympathetic as well. Yeah. No, I miss them a lot. But
dogs watch cricket?
Not really. They chase the ball, though. That's how I keep my arm in good shape.
Dogs are good fielders, for sure. Anyway, let's get back to the live action. Adam Martell comes in, and he just angles the ball in. Doesn't really have to spin too many away. If he could get that one, I think, add an extra element, but like Clayton Floyd did last year for the Netherlands 11. I'm going to ask you again after this ball from Martell. Going nowhere. So Zishan, do you think that's just a warning, or do you think that maybe is one match on the bench? Certainly a player that Royal Tigers want to have available.
I think it's the way that the umpire sees. I mean, if you don't do those sort of things where, well, let's just pause for a minute, see where this ends. It's okay. Yeah, you don't do those things when you know that you're being watched. It's being streamed around the world. It's not a good example. It's certainly not what we promote, and it's certainly not what we want the youngsters coming round to the ground watching lovely cricket to see. So there's an element of that about it, but I think that the tournament referee will also understand the frustration. He'll probably give him warnings, say, right, the next time you do it, 2 match. And it's another wicket. And, well, keep holding your bat. That's the advice I say. It is disappointing when you have to go, but Harsh, the captain, man, he has to go now. And this is disappointing. He goes just for 1 of the 2 balls that he's faced.
Yeah, it was an interesting shot selection, wasn't it? And there's a bit of Luke Letizia about the stroke from Harsh Mandian, but the Tigers skipper will go no more. He gets in a real tangle.
I think he drags this onto his stump.
Yeah, it gets caught up, I think, in some arm. I think we'll probably see in a second exactly what happens, but I know that Adam Martell doesn't care how it went back onto the stumps. The point is it has. And Harsh Mandian's got to go 2 wickets down now, and it's 40 for 2.
Yeah, now this is what I was talking about earlier when I think they're going to follow the example. So you watch this again. Yeah, I think glove was at the bat.
I think it goes glove to leg and then back on the stump. I think it originally hits the glove, comes down onto his kind of thigh, and then just rolls back. We'll probably ask him. It's just there. Anyway, Mandian has to go second ball. He'll be disappointed. Just a single.
Yeah, he will be. See, kid is out the power play. Set your field right. Take the pace of the ball. It's working.
Yeah, he's been a very clever bowler, Adam Martell. But like I say, I wouldn't be banking on him turning too many away from me. I think I'd just be treating him a bit like an in-swing bowler. Maybe not quite medium pace, but ball's going to be coming in, and it does again. This one's taken off middle stump. So just get 1. Hello to James Stewart, who's watching from Estonia. And also we've got I Want Beautiful Wife in the chat.
Excuse me?
Name. I like it when it... sometimes you can have your bio and your username can be the same thing.
Are you sure that's not Suleiman out there using his mobile? This is going up in the air. This is going to be a chance, no. But just for a moment there, I thought the fielder, Adam Wakeford, was getting himself set to perhaps take a catch. But this has gone all the way. There's a nice pick-up. Probably a little bit wind assisted as well. But here we go. Boom. Shakalaka.
Wind assisted. I think that is what it was. Once it got up high. And just was going to creep over. Just the 3 or 4 extra metres it needed as we get to the end of the first half of this innings. 5 overs down. It's 47 for 2. Who's ahead now? I'm going to keep asking you because this game, to me...
Griffins. I'm surprised. Look, Zahir Safi, he had a good knock at the beginning part of the week, didn't he? I think he scored... did he get to his 50? I'll go back to my notes in a moment.
I remember him most for his knock against the Netherlands 11 last year in ECC when he scored 57 of 22 against a high quality attack.
Yeah.
Come back to that. New over starts, driven away, and this one is more catching practice. Well, who's that down there? Is that Lee? Well, Lee's already got 1 catch today, Lee Rimmer. This one, I think there was a bit of interference from the kids, but the result, Maximo. 6 runs, and the Tigers past 50.
Yeah, good shot. Let's have a look at this. Takes this. Oh, well, that, I tell you what, that's hurt.
Should have quit while he was ahead,
He's going
Lee.
to go into the medical tent. And this one is going to hurt the batter even more. It's a gentle full toss. And, well, what a soft dismissal. I mean, Safi just smashes a big 6. Leaves a hole in, who was it out there? Leaves a hole in the hands of the man who's trying to stop it, and probably in his chest as well. And then look, slow full toss, slow, gentle. Clever bowling though.
He'll be disappointed. It dips. See, last moment, it looks high, and then just dips because it is a slower ball. And Safi, we go 6 now, to be so disappointed about this. Mullen, the easiest of return chances. And so the Tigers lose another one, 53 for 3 now. Doesn't matter how you get them. Full tosses can be a bit awkward. You still got to time them. And that was horribly this time by the batter. Zahir Safi will be disappointed. But it does bring the protractor to the crease, Abhishek Kedapal. And he is a guy that can do some damage. And we're into the second half of the innings already, Rico.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, we've seen him probably being one of the most consistent batters and performers with bat and ball. Kedapal. Yeah, I was looking up Sufyan's batting. And he did do well early on, doesn't he?
Zahir Safi.
Yeah, but he's Safi, did get a 50, but after that he hasn't really done anything. So I was surprised that he came in before Abhishek, but Abhishek is there now. He's got to get a bat with his head screwed on.
You need a few screws because it's one of the bigger heads. in this ECL. You won't mind me saying that. He's a real character though. And so, Royal Tigers just on the brink. They need a partnership here. Makahuja's still there at the other end. Given away. And this is a weird, tricky chase.
Well, he had to get down, and I think they're never easy, but I think he knows should have done better. Now, look, this could be nasty. I'm not liking the look of this. Luke Letitia is not getting up.
Oh,
and, well, I hope he's okay. He's holding his knee there.
Yeah,
giving it a rub. Has he hit the boundary marker there?
I think he got that far. For me, it was in the landing. Well, let's have a look, see what we get, because he is a key player. Again, this guy's coming from the off-season there, and then I think it's in the roll.
Yeah, I think
it's got to be in the roll. It's nothing we could really pick up there. I thought maybe sometimes you kind of plug in the surface. But here, that first bounce, I don't know if we can go back to that again, that first bounce of the right knee, I think might have been where he's hurt himself. And I would consider just giving him a breather for an over or two.
I mean, look, he's hard, isn't he? He falls hard, he gets up as well. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Come on, he's back on his feet. Well done, that's the captain. And he's taken one for his team there. Unfortunately, couldn't stop it, but he's back up there, and that's what's good to see. He's okay, though he's going to be hobbling a little, I'm sure. And this time is over him. And well, just rubbing salt into the wound.
He gets to run it off at least. Well, here's the thing, as we see, that nice shot elevated. So back-to-back boundaries for the protractor. Good start from him. That was a good slap, wasn't it? Got the elevation. I was going to say Griffins, due to various reasons, including some of their players unavailable because of COVID. So what I was going to say is that they pretty much have their first choice 11 on the park, and they've got Rob Thompson as an emergency 12th man, who's their manager as an option, but as to come in. But they've been using the same 11 players every game. Right now, they're doing the job. But a few dramas in that sixth over. 62 for 3 after 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very important point that you make there, because remember, we just ended today. We're just, more or less about the halfway point. Big day tomorrow. Of course, that's another reason why they would not want to finish in the bottom 3. They will want to finish in the top 3. It's important they do, because that's extra matches. They don't need the extra matches. I think they would probably avoid that, but they'll be looking for a good win here at least.
They'd love double chance as well, of course. Allows them to perhaps just play twice tomorrow and then potentially twice on finals day.
Wanted to take the single. The bar wants a strike, which is interesting because, look, Ahuja, 19 of 14, that's not a bad strike rate. You've got to take the runs when they're there.
He knows his job, though. Protractor.
Now, you see, this is where it doesn't make sense. If you don't want to take the single, well, then why'd you take the single?
Well, this is why. I mean, he wanted one more ball, try and hit a big one. But if he then refuses that, well, where does it end? You end up just playing out 5 dots. I think fair enough maybe to give himself one more ball, but couldn't get away. Over to Ahuja.
Oh, he does go for a big, and Ahuja says, well, has it been taken? Well, he's taken one in his chest. Well, this has been taken. This has been hit big. It goes all the way. Shaka. Well, this is Mark Ahuja going up to get a ball and saying, give it to me. I can hit it.
Yeah, well, that's right. Why not give him the strike? And, well, as the late, great Meatloaf once said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And
seen this. And the next ball is a wicket, and this time is all about one man. And who's he? Who are we talking about? Jason Martin, top draw.
Yeah, class act behind the stumps. Yeah, and he just has to block out the batter and the swing. You see that bounces pretty much on the crease, but he stays down on it. Sometimes you see keepers coming up a bit too early. Jason Martin, hasn't come to him. In fact, Ahuja never turns around. He knows he's gone. So maybe a bit of an unnecessary stroke to leave his crease there. He didn't get a lot out of that half step, did he? I'm sure he'll have a look back at that. But Mark Ahuja, he's got to go for 25 off 16. 2 4s, 2 6s in his knock. 69 for 4.
Yeah, that's not intelligent cricket, actually. I mean, he's a wicket keeper himself. He should know better. Is that a thing? If you're a wicket keeper, you don't actually want to be stopped by another wicket keeper?
Yeah. No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, for sure. I've only ever been leg stump stumped once in my life, and I hated it. It was in a final. But I guess occasionally you got to take some of your own medicine.
I suppose he was out the ball before, caught the other side of the boundary.
That's true.
Catch that actually. Look, I reckon he could see this ball first. I reckon it's got a good chance of making the Croatian national team.
Oh yeah, you think so? Well, I can tell you, Lee Rimmer has 2 more catches in the crowd than Corey now. And the other thing is, Lee Rimmer is qualified for Spain. Did you know that? So Corey was impressed by his catch earlier.
There you go.
Not the drop so much. Sanahuja has come out to replace his brother Mark. And this is Kedapal who moves to 11 with that single, and he retains the strike. 7 overs down. Royal Tigers are 71 for 4. And I did mention before a little bit about the format. So we're into match 14 right here. The group week format, 16 format. After today's matches will be at the end of the round robin. The top 3 will play round 2, which is basically a shootout to see who gets the double chance. Only 2 teams will get that double chance on Finals Friday. The 3rd team will be seeded 3 on Finals Friday, and they'll be joined by the winner of the eliminators. So basically 5 versus 6 will play the first eliminator, and the winner of that will play against the 4th ranked team. So your head's on the chopping block if you finish 4, 5, 6 after today's matches. It does look like, we have Zagreb, Sokol and Inter Bulgarian will be in that bottom 3. We don't know exactly how the middle of the table will shape up. Here's Jordan Martell. He's a clever bowler, got good changes of pace. I think got pretty good control. 3 big overs here, because with the protractor he could easily go and take 40 off these 3. They get up to 110.
Yeah.
But if they can hold them, maybe take another wicket, maybe they could keep it down to something in the 80s or around the 90 mark.
Misses the first one, but he doesn't miss this one. This is well hit and out of reach of Luke Letizia. Does the running, but can't stop it. 4 more. It's not ideal for him to be running around chasing those at the moment, but he seems to be walking and moving around a lot freely. I wonder if he's going to fancy having to bowl as well. I picked him maybe to bowl his slower deliveries here, just keep the pace off. I wonder if he's thinking about it, or maybe that knock on his knee has put. He really. This is a good delivery to watch again, and people that have been watching and maybe looking at some of the LBW decisions and saying, why isn't that out? This is why. This pitch has got good bounce on it.
Yeah.
If that's hitting the pads, a lot of people would have said, God, surely that's plumb. Good example of why not.
Just losing his shape a couple of times here, Kedapal, who can hit through the line. He can also hit these cut shots, these kind of back cuts in the kind of top left quarter of your screen. Right, he seems obsessed with trying to lace it over mid-wicket. And I think he just needs to have a look at that here. Martell being crafty with his changes of speed.
And, well, gets past one fielder, but not past Bichard this time. Makes the stop. This is all about pace off.
Yeah.
And this is something that Brigade learned. As I said before, I think Griffins, they're learning it as well. Don't give them the pace, and try and use your seamers in the power play. That's what I
think you've got to be playing for the slower ball for Martell. A really good over from him, though. Does get the boundary and a single, but 4 dots in the over. So it's 76 for 4 after 8. But yeah, yes, he's got the one that can keep you honest, but I think you need to be a bit like you're facing someone like James Faulkner, or a bowler like that, left-hander. You got to set up thinking it's a slower ball, and then if it's not, well, then you can adjust and maybe just knock it for 1. But I think you got to be thinking, I'm going to play a big shot against a slower ball, and always treat him like a spinner with your setup and your footwork and your timing, because you saw they just were feeling for the ball. They're a bit early every time there. Again, these 2 teams, they could meet again on Super Thursday or later in the week at some point. And so it's all about getting to know who you're playing. And it's easy for us here. We've seen Jordan Martell a fair bit, but remember the Royal Tigers, it's the first time they've played against him. So, yeah, good over. Here's Hooper coming back for the 9th. It all happens in the 9th.
Yeah, I think Ketzball will go after Hooper. Well, he's not able to. Hooper's done him. Done him with this in-swinging Yorker. It takes a leg stick. And it wasn't to be for Kathapal this time either. Abhishek has to go 16 of 13 deliveries. Unlucky 13 for him. Well, Hooper comes on. I thought that maybe this could have been a bit risky because he has gone for a few, Hooper, and the big hitters have liked what he's done, but this was a lovely delivery.
That's where you want to be, full and straight. I think if in doubt, it's a great place to put it. And we've seen a protractor swinging and missing a fair bit. The ball's missing the off stump. This one, just look at that length. That is spot on. It crashes in the leg stump. So that's a big hitter. That will take no further part in this innings. As for 16, 11 balls remaining. It's 76 for 5.
Yeah, well, the key big guns gone then. Zishan went for 26, also off 13 deliveries. And Harsmandian, the captain, wasn't really able to get going, 1 off 2. Zahir Safi hit a really big 6, and then was caught on Baba Mullen off that very slow full toss. And now Abhishek Kathapal also has to depart, 16 of 13. Hooper, can he continue with that line? Because he knows what they're all going to try and do here now. They're going to try and go across the line. And simply pushed out, takes the single. Not the best of running here.
That's Kaiba who is out there at number 7. Can bat. Can hit a long ball as well, Kaiba. He's another one who they'll be shuffled around that middle order, typically anywhere between 4 and 7.
It's a nice, sweet pickup of the ball, and that goes all the way. Nice shot. Manos. Arriba, Vidro. 6 carreras.
It's down to Huja. Very experienced in his form of the game now. We've seen him play domestically in Hungary, also in Romania. We saw him playing for United.
Oh, and this is another. It is 2 in a row. Balle. Ginna Sona. Ginna Bada Shaka.
It's a really good shot. It's a front foot pull shot, basically. Just reaches, feels for the ball. Gets 6 more. Good counter attack.
Goes that way again. Fielder thinks about getting the dive in. Makes the right decision. It was an awkward bounce. Gets a single. That's okay, because basically I think what you're saying here to Deldar, right, you got 1 ball. Do what you can with it, but I don't want a single.
Yeah, true. Last ball of the night.
And well, that'll do. That's runs. And well, that takes it to 28 that have been scored in this sort of mannerism. And that's healthy. It also takes the score into the 90s now. So 94 with an over to go.
Yeah, handy runs. Just need to try and sneak up over that 100 mark. There's no sneaking by Huja. It goes back to back. Maximos during the over. Look earlier, it was Griffins that chased down a target of 108 against Indo-Bulgarian, but it certainly wasn't the way they intended to do it. Losing a couple of wickets in the middle. Ended up doing that in the last over. With only 3 balls to spare. So, I mean, the way it's shaping up here, another good over of, say, 12 to 14. Could have a similar kind of target. So,
getting that acceleration in when they need to. 47 it was at the halfway point.
Jordan Martell's back. Oh, I think that looked very high for a long time, and it is a slow ball, so it comes down. Yeah. But when? My feeling was it was past the batter when it came down. Guess the square leg umpire's in the best position. Oh yeah, probably just died at the right moment. It was past the batter, but it wasn't past the popping crease. Good dot ball.
Again, another one. It's just you need to just wait a minute. It's almost like you want to shout out to them, count to 1 and then play the shot.
This is a hard ball to hit over mid wicket. I think I'd be trying to hit this over cover. There's a deep point. There's a long off. Hold your shape. Now he's getting way out of his crease here, trying to counteract that lack of pace.
Oh, this is well, he's been so good, hasn't he, behind the stumps, Jason Martin. Well, this ball, well, he's outfoxed. 3 of them have outfoxed the batter. Well, this one outfoxes him.
I've got to say, I'm really surprised that Jason Martin's not up to the stumps, because you're getting a bunch of slower balls here from Jordan Martell, and he just creates a problem for himself trying to take them on the second bounce. A rare one gets away, 4 byes, and a bonus for the Royal Tigers.
Yeah, that's disappointment.
I'd also keep the batter back in his crease if he did that.
And, well, bit of target practice there also going wrong. I think if this hits, then he would have been out.
Makes a bit of a movement here, down and outside the off stump. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it would be a good opportunity for Martin to get up to the stumps. Certainly can handle the pace. But I don't think we've seen Jordan Martell bowl any on-pace deliveries, have we?
Yeah. So, a run to get them to the 100. 2 balls to go. And I get the feeling that Stan Ahuja will be coming down regardless. At least get that one run. I think Dildar has other ideas. He wants to send this out of the ground. And he makes good contact, and that's exactly what it does. And he goes all the way over. Shaka Lagyan. That one takes them past the 100 mark. Now this is better, isn't it? Rather than what was happening with Ahuja trying to hit it just in one area.
Yeah.
He does thump this.
It's almost front on, Delda. I'd say it's the most classical technique. He's really shaping up. He's on the walk. Where's he going? We'll find out. 105, last ball.
Plays this well, and watch the spin, and does well the fielder. And yeah, screams of hold it. I think that's fair enough, because I don't think the man backing up was quite in the right position there, and that was Damien Wallen. So they do get 2. And the score goes to 107.
Going to get a bit spooky.
On,
the target earlier was 108 for Griffins in match number 2000. That was a humdinger of a game. And right now, once again, the target is 108. Nice bit of fielding down there from Hooper, who's been very dangerous in the field. Martin, yeah, he probably could have run him out here, but I think they decided, well, just in case he missed, he's probably saying to his teammates, well, do you think I'm going to miss from here? I'm only about 2 metres away with 3 to aim at. But it's going to be another very, very exciting chase in a match which, look, it's very functional as well. The team that wins is guaranteed a spot in the top 3, but also, you know, it may not be the last time these 2 teams meet this week, so it's also for bragging rights and a bit of confidence. Nice work by Delda at the end, and Stan Ahuja had a big night where he was able to get a couple away. In the end, the Royal Tigers, I think, more or less a pass score based on what we've seen, maybe 5 short, but certainly something to bowl at. And they'll have to bowl well against Griffins, and Luke Letizia missed out in the first match with the bat, and slight injury concern about the Griffins skipper. But let's have a look at these very good-looking umpires, Dilkesh and Sully out there. And the Royal Tigers, they've had a good week, and Zishan, he loves to go from the first ball, and he certainly didn't disappoint once again as he got them off to a fairly fast start. The Tigers, they were having to do their own fielding early. This is one that would have gone to a man deep on the 3rd man boundary, but they got away with it. Well, the cricket's been great, but the football probably not as good. We've seen some tackles that haven't been fantastic, and let's just say, well, maybe Zishan is auditioning for the javelin. I'm sure someone will speak to him about that one. Mind you, had no luck here. Got himself in a terrible tangle back onto the stumps. And I did like the bowling of Griffins. They stuck at the task. There are a couple that got over the top, you can imagine, and that's inevitable. Whereas I liked some of their bowling options. Dave Mullen, Adam Martell, and Jordan Martell at the end. His clever, slower deliveries. This is a moment of concern as the ball went to the boundary, but Luke Letizia, watch this right knee here. When it lands, just bounces. Get all that weight going through the right knee. Certainly someone that they want completely fit and firing. And we saw some nice shots. This was Lee Rimmer. Takes it easy as you like. May have pushed 1 or 2 kids out the way, but that's what you have to do when the ball comes your way. He made it his. And then the very next ball, smart bit of work from Jason Martin behind the stumps. A nice straight hit, this one from Kedapal. The protractor. I'm sure we'll see him in the second half with the ball steaming in from sideways. But then he wouldn't last too much longer. Good Yorker to start the 9th over from Hooper. Took care of him, sent him back, and then a bit of innovation towards the end. Delta, he had that kind of front on, square on tactic of opening himself up and just still able to manoeuvre the ball over cover, which I think is probably the shot against those slow balls from Jordan Martell. And last ball. It's well done by Hooper. Can't prevent the second, but does prevent the boundary, which results in the total of 107. It's exactly what the Griffins side from Guernsey were chasing in the first match they played today. That was back in match 12. And Royal Tigers, they'll feel like they're in the game. If they field well enough, then they will have a chance in this all-important match 14. This is the last round-robin game for both of these teams. See, the openers contributed 51 to the total. 26 for Kukakell, still was the highest scorer of 13 balls before. He was bowled by Dane Mullen. Mark Ahuja looked good for 25 as well. But he was stumped at a key moment. He saw Margin, no luck. Zahir Safi, well, he patted a full toss back for not many as well. Nice little kicker, though, towards the end of the innings as Royal Tigers scrambled their way there. Teenagers, Ketapal, Ahuja and Delta, all between 13 and 16. With the ball, Adam Martell, he was outstanding, 2 for 17 off his 2 overs. Apart from that, I've got to say Jordan Martell didn't pick up a wicket, but he was really hard to handle, hard to get away, only conceding 13 off his 2 overs. Dane Mullen, 2 wickets, and Hooper, the 1. Bishard as well, shout out to him. He only conceded 15 off his 2, went for 10 off his first 2 deliveries, and fought back well to only concede 15. Well, if the last one's anything to go by, you certainly want to tune in to the second half of this, as once again, Griffins from Guernsey, they'll be chasing 108 for victory on day 3. Hope you can join us in just a few minutes. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, along with Rico Bull. We'll see you shortly. You're watching the European Cricket Network, and this is the Bet to Ball European Cricket League.
Hello, cricket lovers around the world, and to you, our global cricket family. Welcome back to the beautiful, the magnificent, the picturesque Karma Oval Cricket Ground. What a view that is. We are in the region of Andalusia, the host city, Malaga, and Karma. Well, it's on the road between Karma and Coin, going towards Marbella. And what a setting this is for the Bet to Ball European Cricket League, which is the Champions League of cricket. 30 club champions coming together, competing over 144 matches, spread over 6 weeks of competition. Finals week starts on the 14th of March. One team, Tunbridge Wells, the Group A champions, have booked their place. And this week we will learn on Friday who from Group B will join them. These two teams are fighting to see who's going to have the easier path going into finals day on Friday. Royal Tigers have got the runs on the board, and it's over 100. Par score 107, 108 needed for victory. And the umpires for this match, Sulaiman Saeed and Nikosh Patel. Sulaiman Saeed says, off you go. And a lovely shot. That is absolutely beautiful. And just goes to show the confidence at the moment of Luke Letitia, the captain of the champions of Guernsey, Griffins. What a against in. And I'm just wondering if they're going to try and set a field to him, because he will play that shot again. This time he goes down the ground and has to hustle a bit. Seems to be okay after that tumble that he had. Gets the single. That means it's David Hooper who will go on strike. David Hooper getting the nod before a man he has opened with him before, Damien Wallen. And I think this is probably just about maybe Hooper maybe better in there in the power play as opposed to Wallen. And there's that shot again. Ah, this is quality. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We are on the Costa del Sol, and when we talk about the Costa, we talk about sun, sea, sand, and all together now, sexy cricket. That's a beautiful shot, absolutely glorious. And I said he will do it again, and now I think, well, no, they haven't. I thought. And you see a lot about going big and try the funky stuff, but you got to practice it. Practice is what makes perfect, and that was executed brilliantly. Will they make a change? And I think this is the sort of thing where the captain, who's actually doing the bowling here, Harsh, he's probably thinking, no, I'm not going to let him force a field change, but it looks like he has, because now Ketzabal is there on the boundary. He's pretty fine though. Right, okay, he's moving across a little bit here now. That's better. He's now in that gap between those two fielders inside the circle. So he's one of the men out, and also long on. Short, and this is 4 runs. No trouble at all. A little bit too short. It holds up. Big gap between the man at mid-wicket and long on the boundary. And it's a slow, painful walk for the man at long on to fetch that ball. Yeah, looking good. The captain, El Capitan, started this week with 2 back-to-back half-centuries. This time, intelligent batting, soft hands, takes a single. This is all about knowing what you got to get and not throwing your wicket away, and also about counting to 6. That's the 6th ball. I'll take the single, get myself back on strike. 14 without loss, and a good time to bring back Mr. Maximum. Really lovely shots, those reverse shots.
Yeah, I mean, he hits them so powerfully. You see some players kind of just happy to make contact, but he actually generates so much power. And as Luke mentioned in the chat, doesn't mind if it's a spinner or if it's a faster bowler. Letitia doing it for fun. He even pulled out the reverse, or the normal. to get a boundary. So, in fact, he's now back on strike to Jayaraman.
Oh, Jayaraman gets this one wrong. He's been, along with Katsapar, one of the pick of the bowlers for the Royal Tigers. I've liked what he's done. Myself and Corey were talking about him in that last match. That close tussle that they had earlier here today against Zagreb, as they won that convincingly. But he bowled brilliantly, and he just carried on from where we saw him last time. Gets the ball in the right areas. Doesn't try to. The key for me is he doesn't try to bowl too fast. He concentrates on the line that he's trying to bowl. Let's see if he can get the breakthrough here. Uppish, but fortunately for Hooper, he's found the gap and a misfield, which will allow the batters to take 2, and that's the captain, Harsh Nandian. He just didn't need to get the slide in here. You may see this here. Yeah, he just looks like he's loses his back foot there. Good reply.
Yeah, got to try and get him down by that rate. I mean, 22 is what they want to be after 2 overs. I think you kind of use that 11 as a bit of a guide point. Push it up. They're already pretty much there.
Shot, and has he got it past the fielder? Yes, he has. Not so sure if this was the best of efforts. I think he should have been trying to smother this with the slide. It gets through him. And Jayaraman, I don't think he's too impressed with it either.
Yeah, is that Zishan in that part of the field? It is. Yeah, just couldn't handle the bounce.
And this one, oh, there's fingertips. I thought for a moment this is going to be put straight into the hands of the man behind square. And he does get fingers to it. And Hooper leaving a little bit dangerously here. That's a chance.
Yeah, Sufyan Mohammed, he had to go up, go gadget arm. Look, does well, I suppose, to keep it to 1, but he's got a half chance. This could be important.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. You can't be doing that. I mean, it's going to be hard as it is against a batter like the captain that is here. You can't be giving him gifts, and this is a gift. And well, we saw one at the other end, which was harder, I suppose, from Zishan. But this one, you have to stop, because that's the difference of the score being, well, sort of mid-20s and late 20s. It's 28 now of 2. With an over to go in the power play, they're going great guns.
Yeah, so Ahmed Khan who comes into the lineup, finds himself in the hot seat. That table's looking a little bit bare. We'll see if we can fill it up with some teams in a second. But we'll see that whichever team wins this match. There we go. Oh, and it's gone. Maybe we'll try a third time. If not, I'll tell you that both these teams identical records at this stage, and so they're 3-1. Whichever team wins this one certainly secures that top 3 spot. The higher you finish, the kind of better your fixture list is tomorrow as well. Depending on where you finish top 3. Here's the protractor.
We've got a man helping him out there. Once again, not fielding the ball cleanly. Not sure what it is. Must be something in the air today, because I think all teams have had difficulty when they're being out there in the field. I mean, Griffins in their earlier match against Indo-Bulgarian, they had a few troubles, didn't they? Dropped a few catches, which was not like them. Zagreb, Sokol, they've had lots of trouble. And now we're seeing here, once more, the team struggling to get the ball in hand. It's a nice looking shot, and this is going to be 4 runs. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And, you know, we've seen, for example, their opponents here, Royal Tigers, they give the ball a good thump, don't they? They throw everything at it. And this is an example saying you don't have to do that. You just play good, classy shots. You time it on this outfield. Once it gets past you, it's 4 runs.
Solid base, and balance. That's probably what a crabbing sideways.
Better delivery. It's full, straight. I think this is going down a late. But one thing I was going to say before that delivery, what Kadapala hasn't done up until that delivery is get it right up there. He's been too short. This time he does. Be interesting to see this again. And yeah, missing leg.
It goes through the legs as well, so it barely touches the pad. So it's pretty good indication it's missing leg, because look, hardly actually touches anything on the way through. Just a little touch, but good umpiring.
Good stop by Stan as well. Yes, pushed out, no run. Hooper was ready for it, and I think it's acknowledged by Luke that maybe there was.
I mean, think about luck and the role that luck plays. I imagine find a way to get a ball to go onto his stumps. That could have easily bounced off his pads onto the stumps there.
Yeah, true.
Right? But yeah, the luck plays a big part in this short format.
And wait again. I think this is probably a little bit about him not backing himself to run those very quick singles. Still probably feeling a bit of niggle.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he'll want to maybe have a crack at this if he can, but then he does want the strike, I think. This is the last ball of the over.
The ground and just pat it down. So gets a park, as he normally does. You throw the ball to him as the captain and say, I need something to happen. Well, he doesn't quite pick up a wicket, but that's a very good over, just 5 runs from it.
This brings him back into the conversation. 33 for no loss. So now they're pretty much right on the rate, which they would say 11 and over. Let's take a moment. Gotta say, love these Tigers strips with the Tiger stripes.
Yep.
See if the Tigers got their claws out in the field. And yeah, at the moment, Griffins, they know that this game is hanging in the balance. They'll be very happy the longer that their captain stays there. Luke Letitia, who's having a very good week with the bat, but also I think they've got some good batting to come. Players like Jason Martin and Jordan Martell, who saw them a victory in the last game. That'll give them a lot of confidence, but you can see they needed a good over there, the Royal Tigers, and they got one from the protractor, Abhishek Kedapal. Okay, now to Jay Araman again.
Miss. Quite the shot perhaps to be playing here. Hooper was one he's needed to be looking to go through extra cover.
I don't know where you'd get him from, but I'd love to maybe see a short mid-wicket in there, and you can lose one of the third men. There's like a fine one and a squarer one, just to try and keep Hooper on strike and dot him up a couple of times.
His good throw here is in trouble, and I think he would have been long gone here. We'll have a look at this, and you'll probably find he's barely in the picture.
Yeah, he's comfortably gone. The reason I said bring someone up in this area, I think they probably want to go near him. You might just discourage that single as we go back to live action, and next ball is played away for a dot ball to cover. So it was Herman who was able to, well, made it earlier this week. This is a win, don't you think? Anytime you get Letitia off strike, we'll just keep him quiet. What you're trying to avoid is runs. So probably when you have a 2-boundary over, there were 3 boundaries in the first over, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and we haven't had one yet in the fourth. So just trying up a little bit for Griffins.
Yeah, this is a big win here now. Gets Barnes over, went for 5, and now here, Jayaraman is coming back with a good one. 2 more balls, and look, Hooper's going to go for this. He has to.
Dodge a boundary here.
And let's think about it, but once more, good bowling, and this is why I did like the bowling of Jayaraman. I think he's just tidy. He keeps you on your toes, and you know the good one's coming in. Gets the ball right full, gets you tied down. And when we say, and we talk about this a lot of the time, you've got to bowl full and straight. You've got to make the batters play, give them no room, and that's exactly what he's done there.
It's a good default, isn't it? So the score now in that mid-30s. That was a really good over, wasn't it? In fact, 36 for no loss. And so only 3 off that over. Very good from Jairam, it has kept it tight. And I think Royal Tigers just kind of inching their way back and maybe even slightly ahead in this game now. But with Luke Letitia there, I think that Guernsey would not count them out for a second, especially after the way they pulled off their second half of that chase against the Bulgarian this morning. Let's go to Zishan.
And this is an opportunity. No, just a fraction away from the fielder out there. And it's Sufyan Mohammed again. But this is a good pickup. Again, not trying to hit it too hard. I think the key thing here, especially after the way those last 2 overs have gone, is to try and capitalise, get a couple of boundaries, just to get yourself back in it. And that's what they've done with the first ball here from Zishan.
Yeah.
Pressure on him straight away.
First boundary in 11 balls.
And this That's called a wide. So Zishan, 5 off just one ball at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good call. Umpires, a lot to think about. We're going to get a bit of a, try to get a bit more of an insight into the umpires. Got a bit of a surprise for you in Game 5 today. If you stick around with us, I'm sure you'd love to.
And not intelligent. This is not good. Zishan is an intelligent and experienced cricketer, but what he's doing here is taking the pressure off them again. We saw 2 really good overs that got them back in this match. Probably got their noses in front. These 2 deliveries now, well, that's not helped them. 2 boundaries, and that's easy. And that also gives Hooper confidence.
Yeah, and it's right into his angle of agreement. Just helps that around for 4.
Hit straight, hit hard, and that's 4 more. Nice shot, bad ball, short. Gandhi si bat ke mari lag gaya chokka.
He picks the slower ball, and one thing to pick it, nothing to deal with it. It's a fast off spinner. You see, bites back. Not an easy shot because you've got to pick the bounce. Yeah, nice flat bat for 4. So 3. 2 more runs from 1 delivery. Otherwise, they will not win the match. So we don't have ties. Golden ball 27 last week. That was a memorable one. Star CC came from nowhere in that game, and it was a team in orange that created the golden ball last week. Just saying. You see the Tigers out there rocking the orange in Group B. Will they give us another golden moment? But right now, anyone's idea. And what I would say is there seem to be a lot of golden balls when they need 13 off the last over. 12 or 13, that's the zone.
I'm sure I remember you saying this before. So this is ideally poised. Now is it the captain? Is captain going to bowl the spin here? I think so.
He bowled the first, and he's going to bowl last. He had to deal with the reverses of Letitia in the first over. I'd say we've got brothers out there as well. Jordan and Adam Martell. Let's go. 13 off the last.
Oh, unfortunate. I don't know if there's bat on this or glove. Certainly something to keep an eye on the umpire.
Yeah, this is a big edge. And Ahuja, actually, he's lucky he gets something on this. It's not really a realistic catching opportunity. But you see, if that gets away from his gloves, that's probably 4.
Yeah.
So all these things matter. 12 off 5. Blockbuster finish on the big day where ECN hits 2,000 matches. It's a very ECN finish coming up. 12 off 5. Here's Adam.
And they've got to go. He comes dancing down the track. Going for the big hit. Misses, but he does get a run. Leg by.
Obviously Adam Martell talented with the bat as well. But you just think if Martin was still there, if he wasn't run out, you feel this is a different game. 10 off 4 now, and they need something out of Jordan.
Boundary here. Need a boundary here.
He needs to go air Jordan is what he needs. He's going to try and whack this over the leg side, I think.
He does. It should just be a 1. They put pressure on. They run it quick. And good throw. Good
defensive fielding. Right now, you want to avoid a 2 there. You want to get Adam Martell back on strike, who couldn't lay bat on the last one. Singles. All Tigers don't mind those. So 10 off 3. Now they desperately need a boundary.
And this is going to be out. It is out. It's run out. And they had to go either way. So everybody around the ground here on their feet. And this is going to the wire. So no run there. 10 off 2.
He got inventive, didn't he? He hits it into his pad, goes nowhere. Ahuja. I'm not even sure they cross here. You see here, just gets in an awful muddle. Actually hits his pad, then bounces off his bat, and then he takes off. Now, do they cross? That's my other question. And regardless of who's out, the new batter will be facing up. Let's see if we can just keep going here. Keep going. You see what happens here when Ahuja hits the stumps. Have they crossed or not? Let's have a look. They're running. Ahuja takes a little bit longer, grabs the ball, and see, to me, that was this. That's probably maybe wrong batter give up. Probably doesn't matter. New batter on strike. They need 4 or 6.
And they're not going to get it. Middle stump, and the captain, Harsh Mandian, keeps his cool, keeps his nerve. The batters try and get funky. And sometimes it works, as we were saying earlier, and sometimes it doesn't. And on this occasion, this did not look good. This was important. This one had to be the big one. Captain holds his nerves.
Yeah, well, there's a good point. Ramesh in the chat saying it probably should have been LBW last ball, because he was plumb in front. And in that case, it would have been on a hat trick. Right, I don't think they're too worried at the moment, Raw Tigers. There's a lot going on out there. The umpires have a lot on their minds. Once again, we see this target of 108 for Griffins, but this time looks like they're going to fall just short. Had to be brave. He took on a risk. Glenn Letitia. He's pulled off some brilliance in this series, but this time he has a golden to his name.
Well, he's just going to make sure that he keeps that foot behind that line. Doesn't want to bowl a no ball here. And the bowl's a legal delivery. Whatever happens to it, it will not matter. 10 is required of this one ball.
Well, make sure you got enough fielders in the circle, etc., etc. Cross the I's, dot the T's, and then put the ball.
See what I said to you? I told you.
Yeah.
Wickets. Once you get wickets, it's not easy. And that's exactly what's happened here. Even though they had all those wickets in hand, one batter has to see you home.
Last ball. Oh.
And it's got to be they'll just set it for the one.
They get one. That would have been a wide. I mean, I would probably just not hit that one, just in case. But I tell you what, the Royal Tigers, they're not fast. They win match 14. And what a morale-boosting victory, Griffins. They set the pace early. And although they were able to scrape a win over Inter Bulgarian, their last 3 games not been convincing. 2 losses in there. But Royal Tigers from Hungary shows you how far Hungarian cricket has come. They are the winners in match 14. They end up winning 107-99. And that books Royal Tigers a spot in the top 3 on Super Thursday.
Yeah, look, one thing is, I mean, I was saying about how Griffins would have learned or would have seen what happened against Brigade and the Tigers. But I think the Tigers, give them credit too, because they learned from that as well. Look, in that match, it was the power play that was brilliant, but the rest of their batting let them down. They didn't bat well. They didn't bat all the way down. They didn't bat well the 10 overs. In this one, they did. They accelerated when they had to. They got the score on the board, and then they never gave up. And look, there was at times where they were really up against it. There was that bad over from Zishan. They didn't feel particularly well, but when it mattered, they came back. They stayed together. But look, you know, you can look at this any way that you want, but the bowling from Katapar, for me, that's what's won them this match.
Yeah, well, came up with the goods in the 9th, didn't he? We'll get to that in a second. Just look at the Royal Tigers record. They've only lost 1 game this week, and that was one that they lost to Brigade by only 8 runs. So, the Royal Tigers, they've shown that they can beat every team and got very, very close to Brigade. So, I mean, they'd be very confident going into the second half of this week.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, Luke Tier, the captain of the champions from Guernsey Griffins, he had everything in hand, but there was 2 key points. Now, I mentioned the 2 overs from Katapar. The other one was the run out, the one when Katapar was bowling, and it was the unfortunate Jason Martin. He goes there. I think that changes.
That's a huge moment. I mean, that's an LBW that's plump. And yeah, sometimes the cricket gods are for you, and sometimes they're against you. And this is one where Martin, he just gets about as unlucky as you can get. You know, it takes me back to Inter Bulgarian, where the cricket gods kind of smiled on Griffins late on, where there's that catch attempt that was dropped and then thrown over the line accidentally. And then, yeah, this probably should have been LBW. Again, you get the still have to score those runs. I always say whenever the runs required is over the balls remaining, the fielding team's always in with a chance. If you pick up a wicket or 2, grab a few dots, that's exactly what the Tigers did, and they'll be really happy going to Super Thursday with a 4-1 record.
Yeah, of course they will. I mean, look, before we go back to that, this is what we got coming up next. This is going to be, look, if you thought that one was exciting, that was close. I think this one is also going to be close. It's the Norwegian champions, Bovika. They're coming back and they're playing Indo Bulgaria. Indo Bulgaria played really well in the last match. It was a close game. They were disappointed, didn't win it. They're coming back here with vengeance. This is going to be an exciting game. This will go down to the wire as well. But just going back to this match, the other key point here is sometimes it's just your day. Sometimes you have or don't have the rub of the green. And I'm going to throw this back at you. 28 runs in edges.
Yeah.
28 runs in edges.
Love it, you were counting.
Yeah, and but the thing is, it makes all the difference. And then you saw the bad luck there with that run out.
That was off the edge of the hand, so it's still the edges working for them.
The edges. It's all about the edges. Good match again, close one, a great victory that for the Royal Tigers. I said they'll want to roar back into this, and they do. And well, what a start they had at the top.
But what about the way he got run out? Again, that run wasn't there.
Yeah.
They kind of went on their hit. It was well executed piece of fielding that started off. The 36 for Hooper as well. The ball, see that Zishan went the journey. Apart from that, no real damage. Wickets to Harsh Mandian, who bowled a really good last over. Ketapal for me picking the bowlers, including that 9th over, when they needed to keep it quiet. He only conceded 5, created 2 wickets in that over, 1 plus a run out.
They did 18 of 2 overs, didn't they, after that over finish from Deldar? I mean,
well, they got 9. They got 9 off the last 2 overs. They got 5 off Ketapal.